Living Resilience exists to offer transformative support and resources to the collapse-aware and collapse-acceptant communities around the world. Our sole purpose is to curate and offer coaching, support groups, courses, and events that assist people in expanding their core skills, competencies, and capacities for facing a troubled, predicament-laden, yet still ineffably miraculous world. Hey there. Welcome to Section 2 of Collateral Beauty, where this is an introductory course that comes in 5 distinct sections. Each one's supposed to be about a week long. You, of course, are able to do this faster or slower than that if you'd like. And you might also be doing this in conjunction with a live online version of the Collateral Beauty course. That's coming up later in 2023, in case you're watching this in that timing. So please keep an eye out in the events scheduling area of Living Resilience in that community space. And I'm hoping that you're also connecting up with the Collateral Beauty support group space, where you can connect up with others who are also engaged with this coursework and others in the general space of Living Resilience. I know I say it a bunch, but really the best thing you could be doing is finding kindred spirits to be doing this work with, or at the very least to be having conversations about the material and your experience in it. That can also be found in our other kinds of support group settings. We have one every first Saturday, and we offer a community online gathering then. That's in the events scheduling area. And then we also have Safe Circle meetings every Tuesday night. You can find that information in the events scheduling area. And we also have a book club that runs just about, I'd say 4 or 5 times a year, each time for about 8 weeks. And that's on Monday mornings, Pacific time. That again is in the events scheduling area. You can find any of those meetings and have some conversation with folks there. The same type of topics that you're encountering in Collateral Beauty are totally relevant in each of those meetings that I was just talking about. So let's talk just a little bit about Section 2. We call it the first aid level resilience skills. And if you'll remember back to that adapted Paul Chafurka scale called Stages of Awareness, this would be right up after business as usual, in which there are no resilience skills. There's no conversation whatsoever about any of the stuff we talk about here in the business as usual level. So here, something has gotten our attention. And oftentimes for people, that is, they've had an extreme weather event affect their area, a hurricane, a fire, a flood, you name it. And it can be something that is more about the collapse of human systems, like an entire industry is full of layoffs or labor troubles and on and on. There seem to be no shortage of examples of collapse or predicament in both the collapse of Earth systems and of human systems. One of the first and longest elements you'll find this week in Section 2 is a really well-known in our neighborhood, in this collapse-aware community, is an essay by a woman named Catherine Ingram, who lives down in Australia. And it's an extraordinary essay from her called Facing Extinction. And what I've included for you is a recording of her, an audio recording of her reading that essay. And also you'll find a link if you'd like to just read the essay. I'm very pleased to have, kind of harbored those, stuck those away in a file, because evidently Catherine Ingram no longer offers those on her own website. So please enjoy them here. They're exquisite. Her writing is exceptional, and she is something of a spiritual guide to many people. And I think you'll feel that energy coming through as you listen to or read Facing Extinction from Catherine Ingram. That's meant to be, and one thing I should mention is it's a few years old now. I want to say maybe 4 or 5 years old now. And I think you might find that a few of the what I call the sober data points, the doom scrolling points, the things that are indeed collapsing that we can often now just read off the headlines daily. She was working with the best that she could find at that time. Everything is going through changes, oftentimes and most times. That means an acceleration and an intensification of whatever it is she's talking about. Unfortunately, it's very, very rare to have good news show up, something going slower than anticipated, or something in recovery rather than being decimated, and so on. So again, I just highly recommend listening to this, and maybe listening or reading it more than once. I'm hoping that you are engaging with a robust journaling and personal reflection process, writing as much as you can, as much as you're inspired to do so, as you're reading or as you're listening. And I think you'll find the next level of engagement with that journaling process coming up in future sections here in this program. Let me just talk a little bit about the embodied elements in this week's section. We try to include embodied practices whenever possible. It seems like that's a much needed element in our world that's full of heady content all the time, and so much resistance to actually feeling what we're going through on the planet. Something I'd like to point to is our embodied learning session, which is led by a good buddy, Jack Adam Weber. He is a Chinese medicine professional. He's an extraordinary guide in personal process work through his own extensive experience with that. He also has written a book recently called Climate Cure, which I strongly recommend as something to give you far more context, and also an immense body of practices that he has developed from his somatics and Chinese medicine work and so on. What you'll be going through with Jack is a guided meditation of sorts. It's really a guided, quiet, contemplative process, somatic, in your body process. And what he's really exposing us to is a number of different practices that, like the focusing of a lens of a camera, we can focus on different elements of our body and in our experience. And each of those elements can offer a different way of self-regulating, of bringing yourself back to center if daily life has in some way knocked you off center. That really is the core of our embodied work, our somatic work in this whole body of work. No matter which stage of awareness you're on, there is a robust set of practices that one can engage with to expand our felt sense of center and expand our ability to bring ourselves back to center when life has its way with us, when life knocks us off center. So please look forward to the Jack Adam Weber embodied learning first aid level resilience skills. The last couple of things are examples of what you're going to find in every section, and those are either poetry or spoken word that has just like a core gold nugget in it. And we have a couple of pieces like that. Also music. And sometimes it'll just be very, very pleasant music for you to listen to, certainly pleasant by our standards anyway. And from time to time, not this time, but next time, we're going to start including sing-along music for you. So I'm a little reluctant to sing for the most part because I'm not very good at it. Certainly not usually inclined to do that for sure in public. I don't know how you are with that, but one thing I do know is the more I bring my voice out, the more I let myself sing, even if it's just to sing along with a crew of people who are doing it on a video I'm watching. There's something extraordinarily calming to my system, wholesome and nourishing for my system. And I notice also that I don't be grumpy and I don't be judgy when I'm singing. So we've included these songs, including the quiet ones that you might want to just listen to, and you're certainly welcome to sing along with them as well. I just invite you to cut loose a bit. Let yourself sing when it's time to sing and really participate. For instance, in Jack's guided tour of those self-regulation practices, it's effortless. You're just laying down and just doing it in your own body, in your own way. So that's really all I have for you here in section 2 of Collateral Beauty for this week. This is the most basic level of self-regulation, co-regulation, and resilience skills. They're going to get more elaborate, and there'll be longer menus to choose from here out of types of practices that will continue to expand your capacity to be present in the face of larger and larger stressors, also expanding your capacity and your ability to bring yourself back to center when life tends to take you off center. So again, thank you for your participation here in the recordings only version of Collateral Beauty here in Living Resilience. And please keep your eyes open for the online live connected other human beings version that's going to be coming soon. It would be great to have you there. You are warmly welcome to join us no matter where you are. And this one, you might be a month past finishing up with this recordings only version. Please know you are always welcome to come to that online live other people version. And I just personally vastly prefer it whenever I can be there, be involved with this kind of work with other people. Thank you. Living Resilience exists to offer transformative support and resources to the collapse-aware and collapse-acceptant communities around the world. Our sole purpose is to curate and offer coaching, support groups, courses, and events that assist people in expanding their core skills, competencies, and capacities for facing a troubled, predicament-laden, yet still ineffably miraculous world.